Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, dwyervip.com. It's game day, Sunday, October the 22nd, 2017. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Note that I have a video, or if you're listening to this in a podcast, I have a podcast made earlier this week where I discuss the games I like. I typically like to grab lines early in the week before all the hype moves to spread. Well, let's talk about breaking news today that might interest you, the gambler. It's 7:05 a.m. right now on the West Coast. The games are going to happen in a little bit under 3 hours. Let's talk about things gamblers should consider. First, let me just say, it's windy right now in Green Bay, and they've had rain the last 2 days, right? You have a new starting quarterback, Hundley, for the Green Bay Packers. This wind is going to affect the passing game. The over-under, to me, is a little bit high here at 47, right? Just understand, Brandon Cooks leaves New Orleans after complaining about Drew Brees' problems throwing the deep ball. Now, that's in pristine conditions indoors, right? This game's going to be played outdoors in windy conditions. I'll agree. Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara, they're having great years for New Orleans. I agree, New Orleans' offense looks like a juggernaut. But again, this is outdoors in the wind, right? I think you need to consider the under 47 in that game. Next, it's windy in Chicago. You have a rookie quarterback, Mitch Trubisky, going up against the Carolina Panther defense. I know Luke Kuechly's out, but it's still the Carolina Panther defense, right? Given these winds, and they're supposed to be around the 15-mile-per-hour range, right? And given the fact that it's going to be, let's just say the weather hasn't been great in Chicago of late. Here again, I think you need to consider the under. This over-under is a little bit more challenging, though, than the Green Bay one. This one's only 41 points. But something's got to give here. I think you need to consider the under 41 points in that Chicago-Carolina game because, in part, of weather conditions. Let's talk about another game. Tampa Bay is playing yet another consecutive road game, right? This is their second consecutive road game. Their quarterback, Jameis Winston, sprained his AC joint, had to leave their last game. Would it surprise you to know that they're playing a team coming off a bye week? Forget the strengths and weaknesses of the teams. Just knowing that Tampa's on the road again, and knowing that their quarterback is not 100% should give you concern. Now to find out that Buffalo is actually rested, and of course the game is in Buffalo, should give you even more concern. Add in the fact that Buffalo has a running back, LaShawn McCoy, who's one of the better running backs in the league, and the fact that Tampa's run defense is terrible. And you have a situation where, in my opinion, you might want to consider taking Buffalo and laying the field goal, right? -3. Again, Buffalo rested at home against a team on the road again with a banged-up quarterback. Let's shift gears. Pittsburgh's offense on paper is spectacular, right? Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, Martavis Bryant, right? Think about it. But you and I know that these games aren't played on paper. Why is Martavis Bryant 1 minute talking about wanting to be traded from the team? Why is Big Ben, with all of these weapons, openly talking about retirement. Then you look at the numbers, folks, the numbers aren't that good for Pittsburgh's offense. They're not. Pittsburgh's been living off of its defense, hasn't it? Let's look at that KC game. The defense showed up, didn't it? Right? The offense got off on some plays that could have gone either way. Ball hits the hands of a KC defender, bounces into Antonio Brown's hands. He runs for a touchdown. Folks, that's not reassuring if you're about to invest in Pittsburgh's offense. So, you have them going up against a team that knows them. Cincinnati. You remember them. They're in the same division. They play Pittsburgh twice every year. Forget the wins and losses. What I want you to do is to look at Cincinnati's defense. Folks, this is one of the better defenses in the National Football League. Just look at the numbers. So, Cincinnati's playing Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. I know historically, Big Ben does great at home. Wasn't that before this year? I'm expecting this game to be a defensive battle. Right? Two good defenses playing teams they're familiar with. I'm expecting a defensive battle. Why then are you getting more than a field goal with the Cincinnati Bengals? Folks, you're getting 4.5 points in a divisional dust-up against two teams whose offenses have had challenges. I like Cincinnati here at the plus 4.5 mark. Other things to consider, I'm not sure I'm going to play this game, but let's just say the Bronco-Charger game fascinates me because Emmanuel Sanders is out. Demaryius Thomas, I know he's heroic, but let's face it, he's operating on a bad leg, right? The guy is not close to 100%. Right? Not close to 100%. Let's just say, too, that Bronco game against the Giants was not the most inspiring performance that I saw this year. Right? Chargers have actually turned it around. They've won 2 in a row. Again, since the Chargers are the Chargers, right? They're a team that somehow finds a way to lose games, right? Their history has been to be competitive until the second half of the fourth quarter and then to fall apart. And because Denver Bronco fans travel well. And the Chargers have had a problem filling their own soccer stadium with their fans this year. Too much weird stuff is going on with this game for me to place a bet on it. But let's just say Denver right now is not healthy. Right? They're not healthy at all. Anyway, that's how I see it. Let me hear from you. I hope you leave your comments if you're a YouTube watcher in the comment section of this video. And for those listening on the podcast, right, just look up YouTube, Dwyer Sports Betting, for my YouTube channel. Thanks for stopping by.